means a tale or piece of news, okay, which is now applied to a wide variety of writings. Okay, the common element of all definitions is that it is an extended piece of prose fiction. So the length of novel varies greatly, and debate over whether a novel is not a novel but a long story or novella is almost pointless. However, the novel must be a form of a story or narrative containing characters and perhaps a plot. Plot is very important in a novel. A unified program of action, plot को define किया है with beginning, middle and end. Okay, and with conflict, complication, resolution, etc. The subject matter of the novel is difficult to classify. The novel is kind of a grab bag. Grab bag means whatever comes to our grab, we pick it up, of literature. So learners, one thing that is very common and very important before I go deep into the types of novels is just quickly refresh ourselves with this code PCNST. That is plot, C is for character, N is for narration or narratology, S is for setting, and T is for theme. So PCNST, plot, character, narration, setting, and theme. These are the basic 5 elements of any novel. Out of these 5 elements, if you want to ask me that, sir, still, please tell us the most important element, I would circle out the plot. And guys, plot essentially is the difference, key difference between the novels and the precursors of the novels, like you can say Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress, Defoe's Robinson Crusoe, Swift's Gulliver Travels. Okay, all these were classified as novels, but at the same time, they lack that what is called as now unity of plot. Okay, so in that sense, the modern novels, they have this unity of plot, which binds the novel together. And let's move on to now different types of novels. So there are different numerous subspecies of the novel. Among the more important subspecies are Gothic, historical novel, picaresque novel, detective or mystery novel. Okay, इसको who done it भी कहते हैं, नोट कर लेना, who done it, DUNIT, Scottish word है who done it, means who has done it, that means who has done the act of killing. So और इसके लिए बहुत सारे वर्ड्स हैं, इसमें थोड़े थोड़े से वेरिएशंस के साथ, डिटेक्टिव नॉवल, मिस्ट्री नॉवल, थ्रिलर्स हम कहते हैं, थ्रिलर्स. ओके, इसके और भी मैंने बताया कि जॉनर्स हैं, तो वो हम आगे देखेंगे. रोमांस नॉवेल्स, ठीक है, रोमांस नॉवेल्स मींस लॉट ऑफ फिक्शनल एंड इमेजिनेशन, love stories. Then novels of adventure, very famous, especially among the teenagers. If you remember the Treasure Island, a very important novel by R.L. Stevenson comes under that. Then if you remember the Coral Island, also the Coral, very important novel. So we have got Robinson Crusoe, of course, also a kind of novel of adventure. Then Roman de Clef or key novel, that means the novel with a key. So Roman de Clef or Roman à Clef, whatever you want to call it, it's a French term, which basically means the novel with a key, which basically means that the novel, the central hero of the novel is usually a character coming from, what should I say, from the real society, usually an author. And when the author is shown through various hints, suggestions, then we call such novels as Roman de Clef. Generally, authors are picked up as the center of story. So, but they are not, as I have told you, directly shown as the character. But these genuine authors are then loosely, copied and then shown through subtle hints. So Roman de Clef was very famous, especially in the Romantic age, when we see writers like Shelley and his rivals started writing in this genre. Okay, so there are few other recent forms like documentary novel, anti-novel. These two are very important, especially for NET students. I'm giving you this as a beginning point for you all to go through what is documentary novel, and especially their examples, and it's also what is anti-novel. Okay, and what is exactly anti-novel. Okay, so you must go through these different things. Now moving on to the subgenres of the novel, we see guys that the first is romance. So romance is principally an entertainment which exactly must not be confused with love story. It may be didactic, but this is usually incidental. That means it may have some incidents where it is didactic. In some stories it may not be didactic. It is a European form which has been influenced by collections like Arabian Nights. Okay, very important collection, Arabian Nights, called as Oriental work. It is usually peopled by characters who live in a courtly world like court of kings and queens, somewhat remote from the everyday. It suggests elements of fantasy. Very important word, guys. Fantasy, improbability, extravagance, and naivety. Naivety means anything that is very new. Okay. It also suggests elements of love, adventure, marvelous, and the mythic. Often the word is used loosely to describe a narrative of hero or heroic or spectacular achievement of chivalry. A very key word, chivalry. You know, chivalry is tales of valor. Especially, chivalry was a very important virtue in the medieval age of English literature. If you remember the Fairy Queen, or if you remember, for that matter, Morte d'Arthur, one of the greatest works of chivalry in English mythology. Okay, then Gallant is tales of again uh, bravery, of deeds of daring do. Daring do means dare to do. Some example includes Don Quixote. Very important example, guys. Don Quixote, you must not miss this classical European work. It's called as the first important European modern novel. Don Quixote was written by Cervantes, a Spanish guy. Cervantes, Cervantes, and in at LT level in Uttarakhand, especially, they have asked from this work. It was such an influential work on English novelists, especially the four wheels of novels we know in English literature. So Cervantes's Don Quixote was an important work. I think it was published in 1604 or 1605 maybe. It was published in two parts. So we know a very important work, this one. It is other tales, the misadventures of an eccentric knight. Then Hawthorne. Guys, Hawthorne again is a very important American, you can say 19th century American novelist, and he is known for his Gothic stories, The House of the Seven Gables. Then Conrad. All these examples are very important. Conrad comes from Poland. He is a Polish novelist, modern novelist. और इसके अलावा कॉनरेड का क्या है, ये इम्प्रेशनिस्टिक स्टाइल में लिखते हैं, नोट कर लेना भाई. कॉनरेड मॉडर्न राइटर्स में आते हैं, आपको याद होगा हार्ट ऑफ डार्कनेस वाले. तो इम्प्रेशनिस्टिक स्टाइल इनका जो है, यूनिक प्रोज स्टाइल है, इम्प्रेशनिज्म को दिखाते हैं कॉनरेड, अर्ली 20th सेंचुरी. तो ये सारे वर्क हम कह सकते हैं कहीं ना कहीं रोमांसेस को टच करते हैं, रोमांसेस की जो वाइड स्पेक्ट्रम है उसमें आते हैं. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं गाइस. तो रोमांस के बाद अगर हम देखें गोथिक नॉवल, बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक हमारे उत्तराखंड लेक्चरर सिलेबस में भी है. इसके अलावा वी नो दैट इंडिया में जितने भी मेजर सिलेबस हैं उसमें हम गोथिक नॉवल देखते हैं. इट वाज वेरी पॉपुलर इन 18th एंड बिगनिंग ऑफ 19th सेंचुरी. इट हैज कंसिडरेबल इन्फ्लुएंस ऑन फिक्शन एवर सिंस. मोस्ट ऑफ द गोथिक नॉवेल्स, नोट कर लेंगे, टेल्स ऑफ मिस्ट्री एंड हॉरर हैं, intended to chill the spine. Spine chillers भी कहते हैं. Curdle the blood. Curdle means to boil, to shake. Okay, they contained a strong element of supernatural and events and the now traditional haunted house. नोट कर लेना, haunted house and troubled heroines. दो ही मेन फीचर होते हैं गोथिक नॉवेल्स के. डेफिनेशन तो है कि इनको मिस्ट्री और हॉरर नॉवेल्स कहा जाता है. मिड 18th सेंचुरी हम जाते हैं गाइस कि होरेस वॉलपोल का कासल ऑफ अट्रेंटो. जी हाँ, उसके फादर माने गए हैं होरेस वॉलपोल. बहुत बार ये क्वेश्चन आ रहा है. फर्स्ट गोथिक नॉवल, प्रॉपर गोथिक नॉवल ऑफ इंग्लिश लिटरेचर, कासल ऑफ अट्रेंटो, 1764, राइट? Very important work, first work. And we know that after that we have seen various like novelists, like there are many novelists. For example, Bronte sisters. Okay, in 18th century, as I've told you, Monclevis was one. Okay, so there were at least 6 to 7 Gothic novels novelists that can be counted under that. But here we are looking at basically the features and only the major examples. When I will take a separate lecture on Gothic novels, I will give you the exact list of other famous writers, and you may search it on your own if you wish. So just one question that I am throwing up here. You have to find out the first Gothic feminist of English literature. First Gothic feminist. Okay, very important question, guys. So moving on. So settings are medieval castles with secret passage, dungeons. Dungeons means एक तरीके से घर के अंदर जो गुफाएं टाइप की होती हैं. Winding stairways, घुमावदार सीढ़ियां, stupefying atmosphere of doom and gloom. Doom आपको पता है जो भारीपन या एक तरीके से जिसे हम नहीं कहते बुरा, एक दुर्भाग्य वाला दौर. एंड ग्लूम आपको पता है उदासी. प्रॉपर कॉम्प्लीमेंट. स्पूकी. स्पूकी मींस जो हमें थोड़ा सा गूज बम्स दे दे. Occasionally spectral means anything that is really very shocking. There is usually one mysterious character, some kind of dark secret. Edgar Allan Poe. देखो पो का नाम आ गया, ये फादर ऑफ शॉर्ट स्टोरीज एंड डिटेक्टिव फिक्शन में. कहाँ के हैं ये? 19th सेंचुरी अमेरिकन शॉर्ट स्टोरी राइटर पो हैं ये. ठीक है, बहुत ही बड़ा नाम है वैसे ये, अमेरिका के शॉर्ट स्टोरी राइटिंग में पो का. ब्रॉन्टेज मतलब ब्रॉन्टे सिस्टर. ठीक है. डिकेंस के कुछ वर्क जैसे ब्लीक हाउस, ग्रेट एक्सपेक्टेशन में गोथिक एलिमेंट्स हैं. मैरी शेले का फ्रैंकेनस्टीन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट लिख दूंगा मैं. ठीक है, क्योंकि ये साइंस फिक्शन में भी आ जाता है. ठीक है, ये दो नॉवेल्स आज हमने करे, रोमांसिस एंड गोथिक नॉवेल्स. ठीक है, आगे की सीरीज में जुड़ने के लिए आप लोग हमारे साथ जुड़िएगा, और आगे की सीरीज हम लोग नेक्स्ट उसमें इससे आगे के जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एग्जांपल्स हैं और टाइप्स हैं उनको देखेंगे, है ना. ठीक है गाइस.